In 2020, four friends decided to listen to every one of the greatest 500 albums as decided by Rolling Stone magazine. This resulted in a text chain that celebrated the music, excoriated the order, and led us to making this podcast. We are far from experts. We promise to do almost no research. All opinions are our own unless you disagree. Please sit back and enjoy. Beck did it better. We are all the way up to album 103 and from 1989. This is 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul. Let's listen to K-Rob, K-R-O-B.
Welcome to K-Rob, K-R-O-B. This is just a quick reminder that Russell went on a date and his hotel room was full of bugs. Oh, yeah.
Oh, 403, my hotel room number. I need assistance, but not a plumber. Someone left the door open and it wasn't me. And now the buggies have us outnumbered. Going on a date and it's happening soon. So I get a nice hotel room. We open the door, we leave on a light. We have 1 million roommates that night. Go to the front desk and I ask them, please, can they find another room for me? I was hoping for some kissing and hugging, but now it turns out this whole room is bugging. Grab a can of Raid and I go inside. I commit bug genocide. Well, the bugs in the room, my style is cramping. I paid for a room, but it feels like camping. Gotta clean up the bugs, so I grab a towel. Can't wait to hit the winery tomorrow. Hoping she was screaming like hits hysteria, but we just got a bad case of malaria. 3, it's my room number. It's full of bugs, and we can't slumber. There's crickets, and I think I see some centipedes. This isn't good, and that's a huge bummer. When you want to hear about the greatest album of all time.
There's no crawlers.
Russell having a room of bugs, I don't think was talked about enough in the last episode, honestly.
Is that all we talked about? I haven't listened to it yet. I probably won't listen to it.
I told multiple people, like, hey,
Beck did it.
Russell's in a room full of bugs. They're like, what? And I was like, hey, listen to the podcast if you want to hear more.
Happened.
Listen, this is Beck Did It Better. We are up to 103. We're talking about De La Soul. And I've got 3 guys who haven't seen this much sampling since they went to Costco. Except for Aaron, of course, has never been to a Costco, famously. So for him, he calls it his...
Never been to Costco.
I've never been either.
Oh.
Half of this podcast has never been to a podcast.
Oh my God.
So weird.
I've also never been.
So weird.
I've never been to a Sam's Club. I've never been to a Costco. I also don't believe in coupons either.
Yeah. Russell is holding on to 2 giant dollar hot dogs when he say that. So I don't believe him. I think he has been to Costco. But as Aaron calls it, his vegetable collective for the good of the comrades in the Bay. That's where he goes instead of Costco. That's where he goes.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm about.
That's a good one. That's a good one I said about my own joke. Thank you very much. Not nervous at all about how this is going to work out today. I've got Matt in Minneapolis. Matt, how are you doing?
Great. I could go for a few those little wieners wrapped in bacon or something right now.
Well,
that'd be good sample.
Are you on the right podcast or what? Aaron's like, huh? I've got Russell. Now, Russell has an interesting situation today. Russell is up in northern Minnesota. He is zooming from his phone, which has required him to turn his video off. So what we're looking at is just a big R. Okay, so we don't get to see Russell's normally expressive face where he looks concerned or stressed or all that stuff. And there is a little bit of a delay, so we might have to adjust his audio a little bit. Definitely going to make him sing along with the song tonight. I think that's going to be good. I've got Russell in northern Minnesota. Russell, how are you doing tonight?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me, mirror, what is wrong? Can it be bugs in my hotel room or fake drinks on boats so strangers don't loom? Gambling at wine tastings, it ain't make-believe, and it makes my date cry. But when it comes to pulling a Russell, it's just me, myself, and I.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm actually going to leave in, at that moment, I'm going to leave in how long we actually waited for Russell to talk, because it is so funny. But for the rest of this, I will be editing it so it sounds good. So Russell, if it sounds like we're interrupting you, I swear to God, we're not. We have just time traveled to now. We're not in the past like you are.
Now
watching. Russell's like, hey, did you guys just see this movie that just came out? Citizen Kane. That's how far behind he is on the Zoom. And I've got Aaron, who was recently telling me he's so upset that Biden is making Juuls illegal because he doesn't know who's going to save our soul now. Who's going to save our soul? Juul. It's a double.
I get it.
Okay. Go.
I get it.
Rosie in Oakland. How are you doing, Road? Yeah.
Haircut. Rob has dandruff. Rob has dandruff. Rob
let's get right into it today, guys. We don't have time. Okay. I don't have time to talk to you about, actually, I did have dandruff growing up, and it was like, you know what? I just use, what are you guys doing for shampoo right now? I am just using Head and Shoulders dandruff shampoo. It's 2-in-1. I know it's like, if I was in the dating scene, I'd get made fun of that if somebody came over and saw that. Don't care. I haven't had dandruff in, I don't know, 30 years. But I am so paranoid about it that I am still on the Head and Shoulders bandwagon. I will never switch shampoos. That will be the shampoo I use on my last day here on Earth. What are you guys doing shampoo wise? Anything fancy?
Whatever they've got at Lifetime, sitting in the.
Oh my God. You're using the yellow stuff or the green stuff or whatever?
Yeah. I haven't taken a shower at home in like 4 weeks. I don't know.
What?
Well, I've been up north. And then you go to Lifetime. They got free nice towels there. You get a nice, sauna in before your shower.
Are you
things
okay,
like that.
Matt?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Wait a minute. Matt's background moves. He's just in his car. He's got a picture of his house in the back of his car. It makes us think he's in his basement. Oh no, he's living out of his car.
There was just a sidetrack. There was a track coach down at our alma mater, St. Olaf, and I forget the guy's name, but he was there for like 35 years, the track coach. And he famously went like 4.5 years without taking a shower at home because he was at school every day, right? And it's free water there and stuff like that. And so that was the big story.
Weekends and
going
summers.
Why is he? Yeah.
No.
Why is he telling people?
He's there all the time. He lives 2 blocks from campus and would go up there every day. So free water.
I just don't think you should jack off at work. I think that's wrong. I don't think you should do that. Okay, call me crazy. Okay, if that's wrong, I want to be right.
You lay down in your shower.
Could you imagine walking into the college coaching shower room, Matt, and there was some guy laying down? Would you just turn and run out of there, or what would you do?
Yeah, immediate 180. Yep.
I would immediately be suspicious as soon as you turn your water down to not so hot, because you know you're going to get super sweaty anyway. So you're like, I can't have the hot water on. I got to have the cold water on, but not too cold.
No,
you don't want it too cold because that has the opposite effect as well. So you got to kind of make it about 98.6 degrees human body temp. Listen, this is too early to be getting into all this, I think. Aaron's giving me a big nod. He wants to actually talk more about it.
Aaron doesn't use shampoo anymore, does he?
No, I just use soap. I don't have hair. It's just skin. I mean, it's just like, might as well use soap.
That's sexual harassment.
Aaron, I'm working on it. I'm going to get better. I'm trying to get better. Okay. I'm sorry about that.
That's not even that weird. It's just skin out there.
Aaron's like, what washcloth do you guys use to wash your huge dicks? And I'm like, oh, no. All right, let's get to the voicemail.
Well, it's about our listeners, right?
All right, today's voicemail.
Hi, guys. Great job on the show so far. Loving every minute of it.
Wait till today's show.
I'm just curious, as now you are all music experts, what Disney song do you feel is the greatest Disney song of all time? I'll go first.
Oh, wow.
I think it's Stand Out from the Goofy movie. Bye.
Oh,
I don't know that one.
Some people settle for the typical thing, living all their lives waiting.
Oh, it's kind of fun.
Now,
kind of like a Michael Jackson kind of a thing.
This doesn't sound like a Disney song. This just sounds like a pop song put in a Disney movie.
Oh, wow.
I think it's weird when Goofy starts singing about Africa. And dressing up like an Egyptian. Remember that weird part of Michael Jackson's career where he was like, I'm going to dress up like an Egyptian. Everybody was just like, whoa, that is weird. Dude, you don't remember the time?
Remember the time. Yeah.
Oh man. And you were like, wait, you're Egyptian now? Like that?
And then he went to Alien Starship with his sister. Was that black or white?
Where they were playing the video game. I remember that because I was like, is this the shitty video games they have in the future? This video game sucks.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Is what is your favorite Disney movie? Now I did text you guys ahead of time, okay, and I got a text back from everybody, but except for one of us, okay. One of us didn't text back, and it could have been anybody. We don't know who it is. So you can tell the age of that caller. I think that caller is approximately 5 years younger than us. If they care,
I was going to say 38. Yep.
Yeah,
38.
if they care about the Goofy movie at all, a movie I couldn't care less about, could be wiped off the face of the planet. Yet when I went to YouTube to get that video, every comment on there is like, this is the best Disney song ever. This is so great. People love the Disney movie, the Goofy movie. And I'm like,
when did the Goofy movie come out?
People who hate Yeah, people who hate the movie don't go on YouTube just to put a comment in the comment section on the song that this is the worst Disney movie. Well, I mean, it's a little bit
I bet it's
biased, right?
I bet it's a teacher or someone who's got their whole summer off to come up with stupid questions like that, right? There's got to be a teacher. Not that I know, but
some teachers are actually like thinking about the curriculum and actually recharging the batteries. And some of them are sleeping till like 11:30 on the day where they're supposed to release the podcast and maybe not getting that quite done yet because maybe they ate too much prime rib the night before that they had cooked. But, every teacher is different. Goofy movie, by the way, came out in 1995.
Yeah,
so it definitely
I don't
is like
remember that one at all.
It's a time where, I think us, as we were in high school at that time, we were making out. Like we were cutting holes in the popcorn boxes. We were doing all that. Meanwhile, middle school kids are at home watching Goofy movie.
If I was going to see Mulan and Pocahontas, like who was watching the Goofy movie and when you could be watching those other classics? Confused.
Look at Aaron saying he went and saw Mulan and
I did. I saw him in the
Pocahontas.
theater. I totally saw him in the theater.
He's doing the one with the two female leads to make us look like shit. Fuck you, Aaron.
What a dick.
Yeah, trying to make us look bad.
I saw Hercules in the theater too. I saw all of them. I went to all of them.
I did see Hercules in the theater.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody's favorite Disney movie, by the way.
No,
Nobody's like,
James Woods.
Yeah, I love Hercules. Now I gotta say, James Wood has done some interesting stuff. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter now. He's got some cool stuff coming out now. But
that's a really great viewpoint.
Matt, what is your favorite Disney song?
Well, instantly, the first song I thought of was "Let It Go," but I think it's a little bit of a recency bias, with Frozen. The Circle of Life from Lion King. I just can't think of any of the old ones, but there's so many better than that Goofy song. I don't know how we came up with that one, but
strange choice.
We could list them all. But
I think Aladdin had some bangers on there.
Yep. I think The Little Mermaid had 3 or 4, right? Kiss the Girl. I mean, that was a
you guys are all whiffing on the big one here. Can I just jump in before you?
Please,
she said.
Please.
Yeah. The greatest Disney song ever, without question, is from Beauty and the Beast. It's Gaston.
I'm especially good at expectorating. When I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen.
When I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs every day morning to help me get large. And now that I'm grown, I eat 5 dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a barge.
Now, that you are 1,000% right, Russ, because you texted me, please pick the Gaston song from Beauty and the Beast. I had already done it because that was my pick. And I had gone to that same place where he was talking about eating so many eggs that he's as large as a barge.
There's not a better Disney song than that. That's the A1. That's the A1 player on the board, right? That's the king on the chessboard.
It's such a good song that you feel bad for Gaston when he tries to kill the hero at the end and then falls off a thing and dies. And you're like, oh, that's kind of a bummer. I like that guy.
Well, to be fair, the hero in the thing was like a werewolf beast, which in any other world, like people would have said that thing needs to go, right?
That's what Gaston did.
I'm not going to lie.
He said the beast has to go.
When that beast and that lady were having that relationship, I was kind of like, I like this a lot.
There's also the line in that song where it's and every last inch of me is covered with hair that just kind of makes me feel good about myself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not celebrated enough by common people right now, right?
Yeah.
All the way to the tip, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, and you know what? Sometimes when you get older, that actually happens. That you have to shave that. I think it's weird because you can't shave it when it's soft. So you got to like turn the water to 97.8 degrees, then start shaving. You got to be so careful.
We are going to have a manscaping sponsor by the end of this 200 episodes. Well, another 100 episodes, Manscaped is going to be with us.
For Speedo season, I'm not going to lie, I did have to do some manscaping, and it was extensive and dangerous. It was there's a lot of like
manscaping.
There was a lot of like blind alleys and turns that I had to do it. Like, I hope this is going to work, and I hope there's not something there I don't expect, because I was using my safety razor, so it was like a whole I was using an actual blade. It was scary stuff.
I was asking my nieces and nephews about the greatest Disney hits, and actually one of them was telling me that a new song just broke like the record for Disney, like highest on the chart or something. We don't talk about Bruno. I'd never even heard of this movie or the song. Have you guys?
Everybody loves that.
Yeah,
it's a phenomenon.
Kanto, great flick.
Yeah, if you're a teacher, that song is going crazy. Now, Russell, I was mad at you because I picked Gaston and I was going to make fun of you. But you're so far in the past right now. It feels bad. It feels like I'm picking on a child. It feels like I'm picking on a younger person actually doing that.
So he's fine. Yeah. Rob's going to be good and not pick on people.
Yeah. Well, it's Russell. I mean, he's so sweet. Here's the thing is that I am going to pick instead a very similar character, although not the bad guy, but there's something about Disney characters when they are super boisterous males that I can relate to. I don't know what it is. It's weird. I don't know. It's, maybe it's just who I want to be, but you're welcome. Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock.
We also talked about this one with my nieces and nephews, and they love this one. They were singing along. This is a jam.
This song is so good. Now, I'm not going to lie. If you listen, The Rock is not singing. He is talking melodically.
He's making it work. And it's Lin-Manuel Miranda, man. That guy can write a song.
It's crazy that you would be like, hey, let's have The Rock sing a song, and then it works. Like you automatically should just win every award ever.
Yeah.
Now, Aaron, you sent me originally, you wanted me to play Zippity Doodah during this. Now, I'm not going to do that because that is actually pretty offensive. I don't know if you realize that song has been canceled. Oh, God, I've been thinking about that joke all day. I'm just going to bask in it for a little bit.
Felt good to get that one off.
I was borderline searching for it on YouTube, and I was like, no, work computer can't be doing that. Actually get me in trouble. Rosie, what is your favorite Disney song?
My favorite is Un Poco Loco from Coco. This one, I love.
Can I ask you guys, when you're thinking about Disney movies, one of my nieces said, well, what about Toy Story? And I said, isn't that Pixar? And they said, well, that's owned by Disney now. So
that's what I was going to bring up.
Do Pixar movies count in Disney World or not?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
What is it? You've Got a Friend in Me by Toy Story. So obviously I'm looking at a list now. I Googled it, but there's an unbelievable huge list of Disney songs that are way better than that Goofy song. But, You've Got a Friend Like Me.
Really upset about this.
Again, I didn't think of that as a Disney movie, Russell. I'm with you. And so apparently it's Disney Pixar. So
you Got a Friend in Me is not better than the Gaston song. It's just not. Like there's no
expectorating in that. There's no expectorating. There's nobody covered in hair. And there's definitely nobody's who's roughly the size of a barge.
I mean, if Woody was talking about how much hair he had, I would be all about it. I would be listening to that. No problem.
Yeah, right.
If it inspires that kind of performance from Russell, it's got to be up there.
There's maybe this person who asked this, maybe they're like some PhD student who is like doing a deep dive into what is your favorite Disney song. And, Rosie's bringing up Un Poco Loco. I'm saying Friend Like Me and Let It Go, all this stuff. And Rob and Russell are talking about these boisterous male.
No, man, I think it's
something there.
I think it's a high school teacher who's got their summer off and's got nothing better to do. Pretty sure.
All right. You got me.
Let's get into Rolling Going. Now, I will say, I think it's impressive, Aaron, that you by far had the most current movie.
What everybody's up to.
All right, let's get into Rolling Going. Rosie, how's it going with you, Rolling Going?
Oh, man, it's going really great. We moved on Friday. We bought our first house. Awesome. Thank you. And so just got to start off with just like,
I don't have any more triumphant music, but like you buying a house. I like this.
Yeah.
You buying a house is so great, Rosie. Nice job.
Thank you.
It's the end of an era for this podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm right.
One less thing Rob can make fun of Rosie for.
Yeah, I mean, the house that we bought still isn't that big. I'm sitting here in the laundry room, but I mean, yeah, just like to start off, just like
Matt's like, what's that?
Infinite gratitude to like my parents, my wife, my son, anyone who ever gave me a job. Just like to have bought a house is just like such a dream.
Big up to all those people who helped you with the financing, the loan officer people. Big props, big ups. Thank you so much for helping out.
Thanks for being so convenient, being so nice to me. Yeah, very absolutely. Easy. But I learned some things.
Those title workers. I mean, to get that title commitment, that's no joke. They put a lot of work into like searching the plat and surveys, right?
You just wait. I got some thoughts about that. The title workers, shout out to them. Shout out to Chicago Title, everybody who made this happen. So we're here. We're in the house, and I'm so stoked. I learned some things during moving, as you often do, like you learn about yourself. First thing I learned is I own an uncomfortably large number of zip ties.
What? For what?
I don't know why. Like I was in the garage, like packing.
Is there such a thing? I mean, is there too many zip ties?
This is the type of thing that gets you put on a government watch list.
Why do I have so many zip ties? Like no one who's not, either into bondage or a serial killer doesn't need this many zip ties. Like what was he doing? I guess I just every time I was like, well, I need one zip tie. I bought 50. So that was one thing.
Did I ever tell you guys about the time I bought restraints for our bed? My wife and I. So I bought restraints because I was like, hey, it's time to spice up this marriage. We're going to get some restraints, right?
Oh, no.
So it's this thing where you have to first of all, it's a huge pain in the ass. You got to put it under the mattress and then the hand things come up and the legs things come up. And already she is instantly annoyed with me because I did not.
For you or for her? I'm just trying to.
For her.
Who's being restrained?
Oh, okay.
Man, I am so strong. I'd be like King Kong when they start taking those flash pictures.
Some would say you're roughly the size of a barge, Rob.
She'd be like, oh, there's so much hair everywhere. Every inch. And so I put him on the bed. Sorry to interrupt, Rosie, but I put him on the bed and tied her up. And I was like, all right, it's time to get erotic. And instantly she was like, well, my nose itches. And I was like, well, sorry, you're tied up. That's the way it goes. And she goes, take this off right now. My nose itches. And I was like, okay. And that was kind of the end of it. And then they just kind of, next time we changed the sheets, they went to the wayside. So if anybody wants to get some very lightly used restraints, please let me know. Okay, Rosie, go ahead. You're talking about your restraints or whatever.
Second thing, I don't know if this is something I learned about myself or not, but something I noticed in the move-in process once we got over here. It was a fairly warm day, a lot of trips up and down steps, moving stuff. We were all working pretty hard. My lady was here totally busting her ass to get stuff unpacked. She unpacked and put away so much stuff. But the first thing that she unpacked of mine, and for the only thing for half the day, was my deodorant. So that was all that was out there just prominently. I opened up the bathroom closet. That was there. So
is that your Toms of Maine shit, Aaron?
It's mostly cocoa butter.
It's aluminum free, but I can't remember exactly the brand. It smells nice. So, but I got that message. So I've been wearing that, pretty regularly over the weekend. So that message received. Matt, you had a thought?
Is she from Minnesota? It's a very Minnesota thing to be, very passive aggressive. Let me just set this out here for you. And I'm not going to tell you that you smell like ass, but here, let me just set this out here.
This is very much like Matt's breath mints discussion, where he moves and his wife just brings out the breath mints.
Right.
Oh, hey, would you like some gum? Geez, I've never ever seen you buy a pack of gum ever in your life before. What does this mean?
Yeah, there you go. Third thing I learned, and this gets at Russell's talk about people I'm thanking. So I've always been on the lookout for jobs I would want to do in retirement. And I used to think I'd want to pour beer at a beer bar, but our notary was amazing. This guy, I mean,
I don't think it's a full-time job. I think it's just a person who gets a stamp.
Yeah. I mean, incredible. This guy had a whole act down. It was like every decision that was like, well, off the record, I'll tell you did this exactly right. Oh yeah, this right here, that was the great choice. You're going to do just fine with that. And he might have told us the same thing if we had made all the opposite decisions.
Sure, of course.
But signing with him was such a wonderful experience. And he was like, I retired. I was home. My wife was, I was driving my wife crazy. She told me I had to get a job. So I do this notary thing. He drives around having people sign papers on their, big accomplishment in life. So that's going to be my dream job when I retire, is being a notary. So if anybody out there is hiring or looking to train people, please let me know.
I love you. And I didn't think you could get more boring, but that would be more boring. But at least I could explain your job then. Hey, what does Aaron do in the podcast? I have no idea, honestly. I still don't know. At least I'd be able to say, well, he signed stuff or something.
If they were to make an adult film about Aaron doing his dream job, it would, instead of being a notary public, it'd be notary private.
Yeah.
And now I'm just going to get out my stamp.
Notarize those privates.
That is one of those jobs, Rosie, where it's like you just need to remain certified, right? You just need to remain in good standing with whatever notary board there is at your state.
Yeah.
But when you need a notary, I mean, people pay good money for you just to come out like, hey, I'll be there in a half hour, $100.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll be there in 100 hours. I'll stamp your little piece of paper and all that stuff. So no, I don't know. I think Sarah had it. Sarah had to get something. There was a notary, and she's like, "Look, I got to get these other things. Can you notarize these too?" And he's like, $5 a document, right? Because he's already there, kind of a thing. Who knows if he's actually charging that or just pocketing the cash or what the heck happens? But again, it's kind of seems like a good job for you, Rosie.
I'm going to do it. It's a good gig. Plus, I just, I love those people who are like really happy with their job. It's like if you go to the coffee shop and the barista's really into it, like that makes you feel good.
That is fun. And it would be fun to be like, hey, can you come notarize this? You're just like, no, I'm busy today. Sorry. I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah. Call that notary. Yeah, I go.
Yeah. Sorry. I moved. Now, Aaron, let me ask, did you move? Now, what was that record shit that you were going to sell to somebody who like was way into records? You're going to have a whole contest to sell that. Did you ever sell whatever that was?
Oh, I didn't sell it. I sent it to one of our listeners. So one of our listeners now has it in Kansas City, and I believe he is listening to records on it. Yeah.
He is still in Kansas City trying to meet that girl? I can't believe it. Trying to get that girlfriend back?
He might be, Rob. You might watch it. He might be. That guy might still be doing that. We might need to watch that.
Listen, if you haven't listened to every episode, fuck off. Okay. If you don't get that reference, we don't need you.
So no, I didn't move that paraphernalia because I had shipped it to Kansas City for one of our listeners. But we moved about 3 blocks, which is like one of those things where, it's great at first. And then the next 2 days, you're just like, well, I made 3 trips to bring all this stuff from the fridge where like if you were going to move further than that, you wouldn't do it. But we're all done now.
Yeah. It's like, most of the salsa's left.
So
it's tough though.
Too much junk.
Because at some point you move your garbage can. You're like, well, shit, now I can't throw anything out. Like this is all moving. I'm moving trash.
Yeah.
Jenny texted me today. She goes, our garbage can broke. And I was like, how's a garbage can break? You just put stuff in. Like, how'd you break the garbage can?
Isn't this the fancy like $200 can too?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the thing is I told her you have to buy exactly the same can because we have bought $90 worth of bags that only fit this can.
Letter J.
Yeah, exactly. We get those letter J bags. That's Simple Human. We need it. She's like, well, I'm just going to buy a different can. I was like, no, you don't understand the ecosystem we're in now. We're deep in the Simple Human ecosystem. We have to do it. Oh my God. Can you imagine just having, I was just thinking to myself, imagine having enough money to be in the Dyson ecosystem where all the stuff you buy is Dyson. Like all your fans don't have blades. All your hand dryers at home are Dyson hand dryers. God, that'd be sweet.
They got bladeless fans?
Oh, bro, you got to check out the Dyson bladeless fans. You got to go to Costco. They sell them at Costco. They have them on. You can stick your hand right through. Nothing gets chopped up. It's great. Whoa. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Chopped up.
Yeah, nothing. It's unbelievable. Russell, rolling going. How's it going with you?
Rolling going. I'm up at the cabin with family for a week, and I was going to share. I had a moment where I was the hero of my family for a little bit, so I thought I could share that story. Does that work for you guys?
Love to hear it.
So we go out swimming. The nieces and nephews. There's about 10 or 12 of us out there, and we're swimming at kind of this sand beach out on the lake. And we were out there for a few hours, just swimming around, having fun. Kids are jumping off the pontoon. It's a great old time. It gets a little windy. And all of a sudden, one of my nephew's swimming noodles, like these big, long tubes that kids kind of float along with, starts drifting away. My nephew starts freaking out over it. He's like, there goes my noodle. My noodle's gone. And I'm like, you know what? Uncle Russ is going to save the day.
Oh, my gosh.
So I start going in the water. I'm already in the water, and I start swimming towards the middle of the lake to go get that damn noodle. I'm going and I'm swimming. I'm the torpedo or whatever you want to call it. But Michael Phelps. I'm like Michael Phelps doing the freestyle.
You're also like Michael Phelps because you had a couple drinks before this happened.
That is true. This probably wasn't the best idea for me to be swimming towards the middle of the lake at that point. But
yeah, you're combining all Michael Phelps into one incident.
So I get out there and I could hear like my nephews are like cheering me on. They're yelling, "Go Uncle Russ!" And I'm like just invigorated with this like great moment of like they've got so much pride in me. I'm showing like this is going to be. Remember how Matt was talking about his uncle who's known for being the Speedo uncle? My nephews and nieces are going to remember me as the guy who went and got the floating noodle and I saved the noodle.
The noodle.
So I get it, and my nieces and nephews, they're cheering from the boat, and they're all super excited. And I turn around and start swimming back with it, and all of a sudden, my one nephew throws a fishing pole line out and catches a fish, and everyone forgot about Uncle Russ saving the day. All they were doing was cheering for my nephew who caught a fish, and now all of a sudden, I'm out in the middle of the lake with a noodle, and nobody gives a damn.
Once again, Russell. Once again, as Homer Simpson said, trying only leads to failure.
Yeah.
So don't even try.
I can tell you too, as a teacher, Russell, of kids that age, the moment you try to actively impress kids, it will always backfire. It will never work. It never happens. You just have to accept it.
When
and
he
honestly,
caught
for that
fish,
kid,
and when they started cheering for it, everyone was cheering for him at that point. I was like, I'm sitting out here in the middle of nowhere now, and no one cared. It was heartbreaking.
Russell, just picture Russell in the middle. First of all, Russell, bright red, just sunburned to the dickens. He is so sunburned.
Yes.
He is floating on a noodle, tears coming down. Nobody can see the tears because they're hidden in the water, but he is crying because everybody's ignoring him. And meanwhile, they pull up the smallest fish ever and everybody's cheering. And he's exhausted coming back. Oh, Russell, that's so sad, Russell. But great job.
Do you guys ever do anything like that? Do you ever have moments where you're the hero for your kids or your nieces and nephews, where you go out of your way to save something stupid that they're going to lose? When, like, I mean, the noodle's worth 82 cents, right? If the thing floats away, nobody cares. But, like, do you guys ever do stuff, go out of your way for something stupid that your kids are into to save the day like that?
I got up on the roof a lot at our old place. Yeah.
I mean, I think the dumbest thing I've ever done to be the hero, and I'm going to admit this to our dozens of listeners, is that back in the day when the Pokemon Go craze, I mean, I think it's still
happening. Yeah, it's still a thing.
You know, but Leo was probably 4 or 5 and just getting into Pokemon and all that stuff, and loved it. And we would go up to like the Mall of America and just walk around, and we'd go up to Lake Harriet, just walk around, right, stuff, and just, it was a way to kill time. And what the whole thing was supposed to be. Then you get to a point where it's like, I'm running out of balls, and I'm running out of this, I'm running out of that. So, you know, to be the hero every once in a great while, at like 11 o'clock at night, I would drive around in the car and collect Pokeballs around, just so that the next day when we were going to the Mall of America, we had enough ammo to catch all of those little fuckers at some point. So that was the dumbest thing I've ever done to be the hero of wrestling.
You're a hero.
I think Darren from Minnetonka, didn't Darren from Minnetonka skip out on half of our Vegas trip to go search for those things? And then
he's in Pokemon Go in Vegas.
Yeah, so he said, but he came back with a whole bunch of belt burns around his neck. So we were suspicious about what was going on.
A lot of glitter, too. A lot of glitter.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I caught so many Pokeballs. He's like, oh, I got so many Squirtles. And we're like, what? You know, I don't know.
Rob recognized the size of those restraint burns immediately, didn't he, Rob?
He's like, that's familiar.
Oh, God, you just reminded me. That restraint story is so sad. Oh. Probably, honestly, the saddest moment of my life. I don't know. It's just the way it is. I've had a blessed life. When have I been a hero to my kid? I will say it seems like every time when I'm up here, I don't know. I don't think I am a hero to my kids. My kids seem to they seem to see me as a chauffeur / cook / boat driver.
Well, technically you live in New York where you don't have a car. So really you're not even a chauffeur.
And they do take the subway by themselves.
Rob, so we've been out in New York with you, you know, and we're out at some swanky restaurant or something, you know, hanging out and eating and drinking fancy smoked drinks, things like that. You know, like your kids are hungry and you'll order them Uber Eats and it'll get delivered to them.
Hero move right there.
Yeah, that's a hero
heroic
move
right there. Yeah, children need to eat.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, that's you, man.
Thank you very much. I want pizza. I want sushi. Oh, what kind of sushi do you want? I want rice and miso soup. I mean, the sushi place by our place has delivered to us multiple times just rice. Can you imagine being a sushi place and they're just delivering rice? Everybody's like, this motherfucker can't even make rice. Like, what is going on? Literally, you take rice, you put it in water, you have rice. Like,
do they even charge you for that?
They charge you a ton for a quart of rice is $2.
I thought you were saying you ordered something else.
Rice. What?
I thought you were saying you ordered something else with it, and like they just messed up and didn't put the other half. You just ordered rice.
Yes,
from them.
yeah, it's rice, and then the one wants miso soup, but she doesn't like the green stuff in it, so we have to ask for the green stuff taken out. I mean, it's listen. Yeah,
Hey,
but
man,
you know what?
Yeah,
I pay that bill every month.
I get the green stuff out of there.
I get it.
It is. Matt is my kid. Matt's like, actually, that sounds really good. Rice in the soup with no green
Did I get
stuff.
that number? Not a lot of places do that. So
Matt, rolling going. How's it going with you?
Good. Russell was the hero for getting the noodle. Rosie, he got the hero. He got the hero call because he's got a new house, right? He's providing for his family and all that stuff.
Yep.
And
he fired enough people where his company saved so much money he could buy a house.
Yeah. Well, I think, this week, I think I stepped up and probably deserved the hero music because my wife is out of town for the week. And so I am babysitting our kids by myself all week.
Babysitting my own kids.
and doing a podcast. Impressive.
And doing a podcast.
Wow.
So, yep. I mean, no applause needed, guys. I'm babysitting my kids all week.
A true hero.
No help from grandmas and grandpas and camp and all that stuff. It's just me 24 hours a day watching my kids. So.
Matt, let me ask you just a simple question.
Yeah.
What was dinner tonight?
Dinner tonight was Pizza Luce. We went to Pizza Luce.
Great choice.
A true champion, dad of the year.
Somewhere
good.
Michael Phelps and Brian Boitano are looking at pictures of Matt wearing medals, and they're like, damn, that guy is a true American hero.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's the World Track Championships right now, so it's appropriate that we'd be.
Aaron, enough of the damn
champions.
Drake relays. Jeez, come on.
So, Matt, you are a true hero for babysitting your kid this week. I think you deserve some time off when the wife gets back.
Oh, I think so too. We'll have to talk to her about that.
So many of my Venmo requests to my wife have gone unanswered. Every time I'm with the kids for a couple of minutes, charging that money.
Speaking of Venmo requests, can I share one of my biggest pet peeves with you guys?
Okay,
definitely.
People who have their Venmo stuff on public. So like if I go to Venmo, I start seeing a feed of other people's Venmo. I'm like, I don't need to see that you paid your wife for groceries. I don't need to see this.
I don't think people know about that though.
Who are the
Russell.
assholes that are making their feed public?
I make everything public and I love it. I think it is great. I love people knowing because I'll be paying like, oh, this is for my nutritionist. This is for my weightlifting coach. So people who don't know me and don't see that I'm drinking like 3 Trulies and a red hot Mountain Dew, which by the way, I bought another 12 pack of these.
Wow. You got more.
Yeah, guys, my shits are insanely orange. Here's the thing is that they think I'm living my best life through my Venmo. It's like every other social media. They're just getting a glimpse. But it is funny when I see couples who are together and they're Venmoing each other. And I'm like, is everything okay over there? Like, are you guys like, what's going on? I kind of like it. It's kind of like reality TV to me. I spy on it. Russell, what are you doing spying on people's Venmos? You're kind of a sicko like me, aren't you, Russell?
It just pops up when you open your Venmo account, like there's just a feed there, right? It just shows. And there's like, I've got like 7 people that I know, and I don't even know why they're in there. I think they must have their email or something. I don't even know what it is, but I know they buy groceries with their fiance all the time. I'm like, don't need to know it.
I don't think people know about it, but I just opened up my Venmo, and between March 15th and April 16th, there was like 38 Venmo transactions. Me just sending money to Rob. I don't know what that was.
What could have been happening?
NCAA tournament. I don't know. He could gamble in New York. I'm not sure. So, how do you turn it off though? Did you guys know how to turn it off?
Asian store, mommy milkers, burgers, chips, or the bride, milk. You're hot. Have one on me. Like this is the stuff that keeps me going, guys. My life is so incredibly boring. I love scanning the Venmo.
Scan the Venmo, just see what people are paying for these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's another glimpse into people's lives.
I'm fascinated by people who are married or just cohabitating, like essentially where they're essentially married and they're still Venmoing each other. I want to get into that world of like, how does it work? Like, how are you paying the bill? Like, I just think it's so fascinating to me that you're willing to like, you know, like put parts of you in other people. And at the same time, you're like, yeah, but we got to Venmo each other a couple, like $5 for pizza or whatever. Like that is so interesting to me.
Other people.
Rob is a science teacher.
It's true. It's a technical term.
Is this a music podcast or rolling?
No,
going,
excuse
Rob?
me. I still have my rolling going. Now listen.
How's it going, Rob?
Listen, I just want to tell you right now. I'm just going to give you 2 heads up on this story. Number 1, this has all been okayed that I can tell this story.
Oh God.
And number 2, you cannot say no to any of this. Okay, I already hear you, Russell. I don't see you, but I hear you, Beatberry.
I'll go on delay for a while.
So you guys wanted to hear about my trip to Ireland.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Ireland was great. Turns out, driving on the left-hand side, I'm a god at it. Driving with a stick, it was crazy good. I will say the roads in Ireland are so narrow that the speed limit is not possible. They'd be like, okay, you can only go 80 kilometers an hour, which is like 50 miles an hour. And it'd be during a single lane dirt road in the middle of nowhere. I was like, I cannot go that fast on this road. These speed limits are dangerous. Like, do not approach the speed limits. But it was good because I also saw 0 cops the whole time I was there. There was nobody there to enforce the speed limit. So it was just like, I don't know, it was very strange. But the best part of Ireland is that on the way out, we're on the airport, right? We are going through security. Now, this isn't a flight, so I can't play the music, so we can't have Russell sing along in a delay. But
Flight tonight.
But we are going out. We're going through security, and of course, 100% of the time this happened, Jenny's bag gets pulled, right? So instantly, I'm like, it's because she's got so many fucking
espresso pods, right?
It's an espresso pods or it's the powders. Like she just brings bags of powders, right? Because she's got creatine and protein powder and all this stuff. So she's always just has powders. She's always getting checked. It's always these things. Oh no, not this time. They pull her bag. And what do they take out of her bag? Right on the very top. You know it. It is absolutely, they are taking out her vibrator right off the top.
Oh, yes.
They take it out. And not only does the security take out her vibrator, they then hold it up in the air as if they are beginning the Olympics and they are coming down and they're bringing the torch down there. And the one security goes over to the other and they're walking around with it. And they have, now I have to explain something to you. My wife's vibrator does not look like my penis at all. Okay. It is gray. No, it's so hot. They were like, this is so hot.
Matt, you're editing this one. I can't be a part of this one anymore.
No edits, Rob. It's good as it is. No edits.
At all.
This marriage enhancement device, as she calls it, looks like, you know, like in the 1930s, like doctors just had those vibrators that they'd use on women. And they'd be like, this is going to cure your hysteria. And the women are like, yeah, actually it works really well. We should do this more often. Like it looks like a medical device that you would see. Like if a doctor said, listen, I've got a prescription for you. You need to vibrate. This is what they would give you at the pharmacy for it. So it does look like, something you'd buy at IKEA. It's not penis shaped in any way, shape or form. And so they're walking around with this up in the air. So I immediately, being the man of the house, put my head down and walk away. I walked through security. I was like, if she is getting detained by Interpol for her vibrator, I will not be part of this. Okay. She is on her own. All right. I don't need to be part of this. And she looked at them. She looked at them and laughed and said, I can show you how that works if you want. And then they put it back in her bag and she was on her way.
Smooth. That's a good move.
Where was this at? Where this happened? Was this
Dublin.
US? This is in Dublin.
Yeah.
So were they being jackasses and did they know what it was and were holding it up just to be jackasses?
I don't think so. Because when they kind of I think somebody kind of realized because it pretty quickly went back in the bag.
Did she go up to them and say, "Oi, have a taste of me nuts"?
No, I think what she did is she pointed at me and she's like, "Oh, that's my husband over there." As I was slinking behind like a pillar and trying to hide, and they're like, "Yes, you need lots of these." Like you obviously are married to no man whatsoever.
Knowing your wife, if they were being jackasses, she would just one up it, right? And just stand there and just let it, like whatever. She's not going to get embarrassed by that one bit. I mean, clearly, since you're allowed to tell this story, right? But what are they going to do? You're going to see 0 of these people in this airport ever again.
Yeah,
in your life, right? Nope.
Well, I thought it was embarrassing for me when they pulled out a warmed up tomato that I had with a picture of Aaron's face taped to it.
What?
All right, let's get into the album.
Let's talk about the album.
Don't make the tomato too hot, though. I'm just going to tell you right now, 97 degrees. You want? Anyway.
Oh, God.
Let's move on.
Must be one big tomato.
So glad I could be there for you, Rob. What the fuck?
It's ketchup all over the place. All right, so let's get into talking about 3 Feet and Rising.
Oh, it's a music podcast. That's great.
So here's the deal.
Let's get into this.
We got 3 guys for De La Soul. De La Soul is a lot like this podcast right now because I can only see 3 of you who actually, these guys went to high school together in Amityville, New York, out on Long Island. Now, the 3 guys are, Aaron, do you know how to say these names? Pasunos, Troyge, Trogoy,
They say
and Maceo.
Did you listen to the album? Pastanus, Trugoy, and what was the last one? Maceo?
Yeah. Now, it turns out that Trugoy, do you know why he has that name, Aaron?
You know, honestly, I did not know until I read the Pitchfork review of this album. So you tell it.
He likes yogurt, and Trugoy is yogurt backwards, which I love.
Yes.
Here I am trying to figure out how to spell burger backwards. And then the other one is Sound Sop, which you kind of think maybe he just kind of ran out of ideas on that one. He was like, oh, this works. But basically, these 3 guys, they got a demoed when they were in high school to producer Prince Paul and made this album. And basically, they made this whole thing using this Casio drum machine sampler and this harmonizer, which was kind of this new piece where they could take different samples and actually change the tone of it. So they could take something like Daryl Hall and they could put over Sly and the Family Stone, and they didn't need to worry about what key it was in because they could adjust the key so that it worked. And that's really the main thing with this album, right? Is that it is a crazy compilation of samples that go into this album. I think that's probably what this album is best known for, and what makes it honestly problematic to try to get your hands on whatsoever, because there are so many samples on this album. And basically, they had an agreement when they this was the album that started the whole sample lawsuit, right? Is that in 1989, they come out with this. The Turtles hear one of their songs being sampled. They sue in 1990, and that's it for sampling. The record company makes a deal with most of the samples to pay them. The deal is for vinyl and cassettes only. So as soon as we start going to internet, as soon as we start going CDs, they realize that all of these deals that they made De La Soul no longer count. Warner Brother has all the masters, doesn't want to deal with it. So none of De La Soul's albums are available through stream. They're not being made on vinyl anymore. They're no CD. You cannot find these on Apple. You cannot find these on Spotify. You cannot find these anywhere. I mean, it is tough to find.
Yeah, it's a real bummer.
And what makes De La Soul so interesting, I think, is that this is rap. This is coming out the same time as NWA. This is coming out when we're starting to see gangster rap come up. But this is more of like a jazz rap. Like I saw them get compared a lot to another 1989 album, which is Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys.
Public Enemy was also from Long Island. Yep. And I think the sort of Bomb Squad, production is a similar, Tribe. I mean, they're part of the Native Tongues crew. So I think Tribe similar.
It's a similar, but it's almost thing. But it's almost like they went down 2 different paths, right? Is that Public Enemy is using rap as like a social justice thing, right? Which is almost what NWA is doing in a different means. And these guys are having that same idea, but it's more, I mean, De La Soul is playful. It's funny. Like the lyrics are kind of, it's a little bit, you just feel like it's a couple guys hanging out. And in fact, they got the reputation of being hippies, which they really didn't like. But
it's kind of this like comic book inspired, to me, it has parallels with Wu-Tang also, where there was just like some nerds inventing their own, language and sphere of being.
Yeah. Well, I would, cash rules everything around me. Right. Yeah, so was that what it is? Cash rules everything around me. Yeah, cream.
Yeah, that's cream. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what does that spell? God, I'm dumb. No wonder I can't come up with burger backwards. I've still been thinking about how to spell burger backwards. Have not figured it out. Gonna have to write it out. Do it at the end of this episode. But I don't know. Like this. So I had to find this. I had to find it and download it and put it on my Plex and listen to it. But let's get into De La Soul.
Yeah.
So we start with an intro sketch.
One thing I was going to ask you is this: what came first? Because isn't this the game show at the beginning?
Yeah.
What came first, this or the Chronic? Because I have to say, I grew up loving the Chronic, but if the Chronic came after this, it's going to drop on my list. Because how many of these albums were using?
Tell us a little bit about
Go ahead, Aaron.
yourself.
Yeah, this is before the Chronic by like 3 or 4 years, depending on
92
recording dates and release dates. Yeah.
So, like, the Chronic is just lifting the idea of taking a game show as the opening, or are there other albums like that in hip hop too?
I mean, I'm sure there are. I can't think of any. I think these guys were massively influential on both coasts for sure.
What was that game show where they were going to heat up a wire and stick it up somebody's ass? God, I can't remember what game show that was. What was that? Magic number. So this takes the drums from a Zeppelin song, actually, and then takes the Schoolhouse Rock song, kind of interpolates that.
Yeah, and when you hear this on the second track, you know, like, oh, I'm in a different realm here. Like, we're putting things together that nobody had thought of. And I honestly, listening to this, I didn't know until I went back and looked it up. It was from '89. Like, it's ahead of its time, I feel.
That's the thing, right? Here's a question. Is this album brilliant or is it dated? Right? Like, or is it both?
I think it's both because you can't sample like this anymore. No label's going to pay for something like this. So just like Paul's Boutique, just like Public Enemy, like the records don't sound like this anymore because labels aren't going to pay to clear the samples.
So from this, right, you get the rise of things like Kanye where they're coming in making the beats instead of taking it from other people. I mean, is that kind of what happens here?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kanye did a fair amount of sampling earlier in his career, but yeah, I don't listen to that much current hip hop, but I think a lot of it has gotten away from sampling, whether it's due to label politics and money or if it's just people ran out of crates to dig.
I mean, can you guys imagine just sampling things like
all I want to do?
It just makes no sense to me. Now, I don't know. I think I've done that joke approximately 1 million times, but
it's funny every time.
I'm going to say right now, that is not the best Three is the Magic Number song. One of my top 3 bands of all time, Blind Melon, covered Three is the Magic Number. Listen to this voice. Listen to Shannon Hoon.
3 magic number.
It's so good.
That's pretty impressive. That's cool.
This went on every mixtape I made all the way through college. I love this song.
Every time you were trying to have a threesome, you were like making one of them.
Rob, how many mixtapes did you give to women in your life? How many? Over, under 2.5 mixtapes?
I don't think I ever gave any to women. I think I was too terrified, too scared. Plus, I was in a long-term relationship. I'm a long-term relationship guy. So
you just give them their own copy of They Might Be Giants.
Oh my God. If I dated somebody can you imagine dating somebody that listens to They Might Be Giants? I can't imagine that. I'm telling you, when you go to a They Might Be Giants concert, it's all guys that look like me. 1,000%. It's like this podcast, but multiplied over and over and over. It's craziness.
It's shocking.
Change in speak.
Well, James Brown, or what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I don't have a lot of notes for this album, honestly.
This is the one I couldn't hear the lyrics. This one, to me, the vocals were buried in the mix, but I don't know if it's because it's a bootleg copy or what. But I love the
Aaron, I said the same thing. I was not listening to the best version either, but I had numerous songs where I couldn't really hear anything over the music.
Right. I mean, I love this groove, but I couldn't understand what they're talking about.
That sounds like a Tribe song. But
these guys, I mean,
I'm just saying, it sounds like Tribe ripped that song off there. The what is that the song off of their second album? That sounds exactly like that song.
These guys are pretty interlinked with Tribe Called Quest for sure. I think they were in that same producer group, right?
Yeah, they grew up in the same area.
Yeah,
they're all from Long Island. But
cool breeze on the rocks.
Keep on rocking.
Rock's the best.
Yeah.
Cool breeze.
This is the one, right? Where like, there's just like, if you had to pay to clear all this stuff, you would go nuts. Like, there's one song every second.
This is just Aaron ripping through the radio dial.
Yeah. Like, yes, like nope. Yeah, it's a fun track, but I mean, nobody would want to put this on an album now. It's a total bunch of homework.
Can you keep a secret? This is a rap song where everybody shares a secret.
Is this the Dandruff song?
Yeah.
This is so bad. This, like, honestly almost ruined the whole album for me. Like, how do you get to this song? And especially if you're watching on the YouTube version that's an hour and 10 seconds, 10 minutes long, you can't just pick it up wherever. You're screwed if you forget where you're at. This is hard to get through this song. This is horrible.
I think it does. The scarcity of the album and the way that you have to listen to it versus other things really affects your experience with the album, because you have to, you said, Russell, you have to be in the room with whatever device is playing it. You can't put it on and go to the next room or whatever. It's just like you really have to pay attention. So you hear something like this and you're like, why wasting my time? But I kind of like the beat.
You liked it.
Yeah, I like the beat.
It's a fun album.
I whispering.
You do. That's true.
I enjoy
Aaron, you have a bigger house. You don't need to whisper anymore. You can sing loudly like Gaston.
Yeah.
I think Rob is not enjoying my whispering. I'm just going to do this for the whole podcast.
Something's happening in my Pokeballs here. I don't know what that.
The willies.
I do like that. Well, here, let's get into this. Jennifer taught me. This is Derwin's Revenge. Now, I do love this. This is a song about a guy they knew named Derwin.
Good name.
Who they just said.
The chopsticks. This is great. They sampled this too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
these guys are like Led Zeppelin. They're just taken from all the legends. They took from whoever the legend that created chopsticks was.
Oh, Jenny. You try this at home, Rob?
Oh, no.
Yeah. My wife loves to hear me talk about De La Soul at home. Number one fan. I'm gonna restrain her and make her listen to the podcast. She'll be like, no, tangerine. That's our safe word. So, but here's the thing with De La Soul. Like, would they be bigger if you didn't have to like hunt for their albums? Like, you didn't have to like see it and go onto SoundCloud or go onto YouTube or man.
I don't know if this sounds bad or not. I think they'd be bigger if they didn't have the name De La Soul. I think if somebody instantly hears De La Soul, they don't think of a rap group. You know, there's this alternative band, Yo La Tengo. You know, it's the same thing. Like, you just don't think of them being an alternative band, right? And so I personally, it would be, if you could access their music, yes, they would be way bigger than they are. But I think even with a different band name, I mean, NWA, A Tribe Called Quest, all of these other groups that have come out during this time. I mean, they have some pretty, Run DMC, Public Enemy, all this stuff, right? They've got some. You definitely know where they're coming from and what they're doing. And I think De La Soul, I think it gets lost a little bit. There's a number of bands that you could say that about, but
they get lost. It gets lost big time.
Yeah.
Now the good news is we can play as many samples on this episode as we want, because who's going to come after us? Nobody. Like,
we're making no money on this. I do know one of our listeners who told me today that he owns this on 3 different physical media. He owns it on cassette, vinyl, and CD. So
goddamn millionaire.
I've missed the boat not picking this one up because it's hard to deal with the current streaming situation.
Man, see what it costs on eBay right now. I think what's really amazing about this album is that this is the debut album. All right, like that. This is a crazy album. Is it
debut?
This is a crazy debut. What did I say wrong?
Debut.
We're just enjoying your pronunciation.
I can't believe you guys would make fun of me over one little thing. That's sick. Okay, that's sick. You guys
shrimp on the bar, baby.
But like, for somebody that this is
you guys see that rainbow over there? It's a great debut. It's a great debut.
For somebody's first album, fine, I'll be dumb. I'll talk dumb to you guys. For somebody's first album, like this is a killer album. This is, I think, like changing. This is a new style of music, and I know we say that every week, and we always roll our eyes when we say that.
We didn't say it about the Big Pink.
No, you're pretty negative about that one. Trust me.
And our downloads reflected. Don't worry, nobody heard how negative we were. I think like 20 people downloaded that one. But this album, I don't know. Like, you have to put this in context of this is 1989, right? This is their best-selling album. This is their most popular album. They get lots of critical acclaim after this, but none of them sell as well.
It's a huge accomplishment, and they were young. They were young too. I think they were in their teens or 20s.
It's crazy. You cannot be a hip hop head, Aaron, and not respect De La Soul, right? Like, you can't. Can you have negative opinions?
Yes, everyone can have negative opinions. And I will admit, I've not been into De La Soul that much. Actually, the album that I knew the best of theirs was Grind Date from 2004, because that one I bought on CD when it came out, which has some cool samples of like some prog rock, maybe Rush or Yes, but that's not important. But this is the part where I say that I went back to read Questlove's book on music today, and he loves De La Soul, and he calls them his favorite rap group. This album and De La Soul Is Dead, he credits with changing his whole approach to music, and it was like when he heard himself in music. And he points out a lot that he really likes hip hop that has more beats per minute, and I never put it together, but a lot of these songs are up tempo. So you guys know me, I love Questlove, so if Questlove loves it, I can't say anything negative about it.
So if Questlove, we're gonna like talk about them maybe once a week. they would be his sneaky beat of the week.
They might be his sneaky beat of the week.
You know what? And it's sick that you would make me play this sound clip. It really is, because I know
this is
it's
officially
bad.
my favorite sound clip. This is the best one you got.
It's just a mess. What if that's the one that gets us busted? What if that's the one where Eiffel comes in and is like, we're going to sue you guys over that sound clip?
We're interpolating. We're not sampling. We're interpolating.
That's right. We're learning from this. This is educational. Fair use. All right. Ghetto Thang. It's the only negative kind of song on this.
You and Paz said negative at the same time. It seems like kind of a trope of the time. Like if you weren't gangster rap, you had to do the obligatory what's going on in the ghetto song. I don't hate it.
If you guys could live in a world and there was only, you could choose rap, either positive rap or gangster rap, but you could only have one, which one would you pick?
Positive.
Gangster rap.
Matt, you take the positive.
Absolutely. Yep.
Why is that?
I mean, eventually it just gets worn down by gangster rap. And again, everybody's trying to, there's never, what good, I don't know. How do you say this correctly without getting yourself in trouble, I guess? It's celebrating a whole bunch of horrible things, gangster rap, a lot of times, Yeah. And so if I had to choose, I would go with the, conscious rap or whatever you want to call it over gangster rap any day of the week.
But I mean, you could say too that that's just whitewashing the situation, right? Of like, yeah, of course we'd love to hear songs about everything's great, but it's not. And sometimes that's the reality that you're hearing from a lot of these groups.
I guess there's also a difference between like Run DMC and some of those other ones and just the straight up, pimp and hose and, all it is whatever you want to talk about. It's, there's so many different levels of it, right? And again, that's some people's reality.
True.
Again, I don't have to listen to it though.
No, Matt makes great points. And now, as a dad, if I were to choose only one I could listen to in the house, obviously I would choose the positive rap. But I would choose gangster rap because I would have to be able to listen to Biggie and UGK. So I couldn't. That's like I got to have Biggie in my life, so that I'd have to choose gangster rap.
If there were no gangster rap, Rob's sneaky beat of the week would just be a sound of Aaron singing Blue Dabo Dee Dabo Da. There would be no Biggie sex scene in the background.
Biggie saved me on that one too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're making me play the Biggie sound clip now too. I know right where this one is too. Like I don't know where any clip is. I know right where this one is.
Gangsta killing, motherfucking.
Now imagine her saying, "My nose itches. Let me out now." That's my CD. Okay, so now we have.
You asked about the album. Just looking on eBay, it's anywhere from like $140 to like $250. So people are.
Is that for vinyl?
For vinyl.
Wow.
For what I could tell is original pressing. So,
Aaron, I can't believe you sold it to that guy in Kansas City. That's terrible. This is so funny to me. This is the song they got in trouble for. This is the one that caused the sample lawsuit.
The random French nonsense.
Transmitting live from Mars. So this is a combination of a Turtles song combined with a French language educational CD.
Yeah.
And this is the one that got up taken down.
If someone heard this and they're like, no, I'm not going to tolerate it.
Okay. If you're the Turtles, right? This is 20 years after your prime. Somebody comes out with this and they're making money off it. I can see where somebody'd get a little bit upset. Now, did it have to go as far as it went?
Piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I think the Turtles were much bigger in their prime. There's like late 80s. Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo. That's late 80s. They're in their prime.
Now, listen, you might say to yourself, Rob, is that the best rudimentary French song that's ever been produced? No. Flight of the Conchords have a song called Fou de Fafa where they only use high school French in the song. And it is so good. So now he's in the supermarket.
He's going to go to the supermarket right now.
When Aaron raises his eyebrows when they're talking, look at this.
Dude, we should just do this album.
Flight of the Conchords. Their Flight of the Conchords is such a good CD. If you guys haven't listened to that, it is
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It is so great. This is the 5th single off the album. This is I Know.
This is the 5th single? This is one of the songs I hear the most. Maybe Steely Dan eventually embraced the sampling business.
We were talking about sampling. This is where I had a hard time. I love this song. Absolutely loved it. But I was like, is it just because it's like Steely Dan, you've got the Otis Redding whistling. Is it just because they've got all these amazing samples and that's why I like it? Or how do you reconcile that?
I like what they've done with the
it's amazing though, right?
And the melody and things like that.
Don't you think it's amazing though? This was fantastic.
Yeah, this is an absolute groove. This is and I honestly think this is another, I've said it before, this is another album where if you put it on in your college dorm room, it's a vibe.
You're cool.
I mean, listen to that. It's cool. I mean, it's something. Now, I got to admit, if a girl walked in and you're like, everyone has dandruff, that might not be the vibe you're looking for.
Right. Maybe you want to make a mix with this one and not just let the album run start to finish.
It's insane that those two songs are on the same album, right? They don't belong on the same album.
Yeah, there could have been maybe a little, but I don't know. You're going to have fun. Listen, I know it better than anyone. You're going to have fun. Sometimes you're going to have some misses. That's just the way it is. Now, I edit those misses out, so all you hear is the gold. You're hearing the top 10% of what I'm saying. Every episode we record is 4 hours long. Take it off. Take it off.
Take it off. Take those shell tones off. Take it off.
I don't really know what they're going for here. There's a lot of fashion references that don't hit for me from this much later, but I really like those drums.
You can tell even with the stuff you don't enjoy as much, there's parts that you can pull out. A little bit of soap.
It's some Ben E. King. And I don't know what they do with the effects on the bass line there, but this also, like, they take things that are sort of canon and so well known, and then they do goofy stuff over the top of it, and it's very cool.
Aaron, can I ask you a question? Are you going to listen to this album after we're done with this?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I don't know how often I'll put it on. Like, I did find, like, SoundCloud was okay. Like, there's still some commercials, which is a bummer. But no, I'm definitely going to listen to it. And if I can find it on vinyl, I'm going to grab one.
Tread water.
Hey, Rob, I was going to ask you, before you tried on your Speedo and caftan rope, did you take your ass to the bathroom and use a little soap?
You would not believe how much tucking in I have to do with my Speedo, I have found. Like, when I first put it on, I have to, like, it really is like when you're making waffles and some of the batter comes out the side. You have to make sure it's all in there. This, by the way, my favorite song here, Potholes in My Lawn.
Second time we've heard it on this podcast. You guys remember the first?
Oh, we've heard this one before?
What?
We have. It was actually on a list.
What list was this on?
It was the best yodeling songs ever. If you guys remember, they sampled the yodeling from Parliament, Little Old Country Boy. Do you guys remember that?
Nice.
It was on the Sly and the Family Stone. Remember the yodeling on Sly and the Family Stone?
Yeah.
This was on the list, and I remember it was one of my favorites for Matt because I figured he would never put up with potholes in his lawn.
This year.
I do remember that bit, actually.
Had some grubs this year.
The cabin next to Russell is like, what the hell is the podcast? Well, I'm doing a podcast. He just hears him yodeling next door.
Say no podcast.
Yeah, it's actually the second time we've brought up yodeling on the podcast. Say no go. God, there are some great samples on this, though.
Yeah.
This was an absolute jam. I loved it. For some reason, I'm thinking like 80s, 90s dunk contest, 3-point shooting contest, like NBA All-Star game. Like this was just a jam for me. I loved it.
All right, do as Dila does.
You know what I love? These guys have a great. They use Dela like in their name, like the name of the band in songs all the time. Earlier they said "From My Soul, Dela." That is. I love the way they play with words and play with the name of the band.
Yeah, you're right. I like how they just sneak it in there wherever they can. It's nice.
Plug tune in.
The first time around, you didn't quite understand our new style of speak. Don't worry.
Yeah, this was their first song, right? The one that they put together with Prince Paul the first time. I didn't know that till today, but
now let me ask you: is there anything you made in high school that you could give to an adult and be like, "Hey, can I make a career out of this?"
No,
absolutely not.
I think I did pretty well in the ACT. Does that help?
Oh, really? What score did you get?
I don't remember.
Oh, 32. I don't either. De La Orgy.
I don't think I did better than 32. Now that you mention it.
I couldn't handle this one. This was brutal.
Yeah, not Russell's thing.
Did you like it?
I liked it because I was trying to figure out if it's a Barry White sample.
It just felt so out of joint with the whole rest of the album, don't you think?
My nose itches. My nose itches. Please stop. Where are my socks? You know, all the bits. You knew we were going to tell the ghost jokes. Come on.
Whoa. Jeez. You guys really enjoying himself.
That would be tough, wouldn't it? If you were at an orgy and you're the loud guy. Or maybe you crank it up. You probably want people to watch you, right?
I think, yeah.
Like you're probably not like, you're probably not like, oh yeah, you like that? You're getting rammed by the best. I've been doing this so long. Oh, I'm so good. You probably have to be like, oh yeah. Look at me.
From way downtown, bang.
You could see my balls from the back. You just are. I'm screaming. My family is here at the cabin. I'm doing the screaming orgy bit. Good thinking.
Why is your dad walking in with the disco ball back there?
I normally don't have trouble getting hard. Yeah. Just scream. Just the loud orgy guy. Yeah, this feels good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, of course it feels good. We're at an orgy. That's the point. Like, my hamstrings are cramping up. Oh, no. Didn't drink enough. Didn't have enough bananas before I came.
Hello.
Buddy. With the Jungle Barge.
Meanie, 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 meanie. What? Meanie, 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 meanie. Meanie, 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 meanie. Meanie, 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 meanie. What? Meanie, meanie, meanie.
We're so tired. Description.
I was just enjoying that one. The what's going on drums.
This is them just doing limericks.
What's a limerick?
It's where one person starts, and then you start singing a song, and then the other person comes in a little bit later.
Like a
another
round,
person
if you
comes in
will.
a little bit later.
Hey, Matt,
There once was a man from Nantucket.
Matt, this episode will sound like a round because my audio is so far behind you guys. So it'll be like just as much of a round as that Boondock song was.
Still not around.
Me, Myself, and I.
This is the big hit.
This is the only top 40 song they had ever.
And then ironically, this Parliament song that it samples is also not available on most streaming services, I think, because I think it's Warner Brothers again.
Aaron loves shit that he can't find.
The Funkadelic, Edwin Bird song, and then Ohio Players all sampled on this one, right?
I didn't know about the Ohio Players, but that's a good call.
Guys, this was a song where they actually got nominated for a Grammy for Best Rap Performance. So I thought we'd do a list of all of them that were nominated in 1990 for Best Rap Performance.
Oh, awesome.
This is what happens when a dumb guy makes a list.
Trip down memory lane. Oh, this will be fun.
It's like,
Myself and
I saw the Grammy nominations. I was like, this is a list. No, there's nothing clever.
goodness.
There's no
So great.
connections.
Let's hear it.
Beck will not be mentioned here. Nothing good. Now, listen, here's a weird thing. There was a Best Rap Performance in 1989, and there was one in 1990, and then there was not another until 2012. So we go right from these two winners that I'm going to talk about to Jay-Z and Kanye winning the next two, because they actually split this up into Best Rap Performance solo and Best Rap Performance as a duo, and then brought it together at the end. In the 1990 Grammys, one of the nominees was De La Soul for the song we just heard, which was
Me, Myself, and I.
Me, Myself, and I. Okay, we heard Me, Myself, and I.
For 1990.
In 1990, right? The other song nominated was, again, Will Smith with I Think I Can Beat Mike Tyson. A song I have not heard ever.
No, I don't know this one.
I know it. This was definitely on the Winamp that really whips the llama's ass when I was in college.
Guys, this was a Grammy nominee song that you have never heard of from Will Smith. It's crazy. I mean, this I've heard about Will Smith slapping, but this song kind of slaps actually. Like
this one. I mean, Jeff could make it.
And I am going to say, anytime I think about Mike Tyson, there's only one person I can think of, and that is Russell. When we went to that party And all these women were there. And I watched Russell beat Mike Tyson on the Nintendo. And it was one of the greatest memories of my 20s ever.
007-737-5963. That's how you get to it. But that night, I did it the old-fashioned way, Rob. I did it raw. No codes. I beat the whole thing. Yeah.
And the whole time he was yelling. He's like, this is how you do it.
Yes.
Etc. I can't yell anymore or do stuff, guys, with my family around. Now, imagine you're at the Grammys and you're like, hey, what else is, beside that Mike Tyson song, what else is nominated? Well, of course, Funky Cold Medina. This is a Grammy-nominated song.
9,000 times better than that DJ Jet.
It's a good song. Why are we mocking it? It was a good song.
No, yeah, this is 9,000 times better than that Will Smith song.
I like this one. I mean, I like all these songs. I don't know about anything.
Tone Loc is so horny. He's the horniest guy I know. Every song is he's like, I got a women getting back to my crib. And then I give them this thing and then they want to bang me so bad. Oh, yeah, I'm Tone Loc. And again, I'm going to do this bit again. I've done it before. Tone Loc is in so many movies and it takes you out of a movie every time he's in it. Because he's always like, hey, I'm Detective Smith. And I'm like, no, you're Tone Loc. I recognize that voice. Would you like some of this Funky Cold Medina? The other song that was nominated, Fight the Power, probably should have won that year.
Love it.
Right. How does this not? I mean, this, like...
It's so funny to be like, who's going to win, Funky Cold Medina or Fight the Power? But then the crazy part is, guess what song did win?
What's that? Yes.
This is the Grammy for Best Rap Performance in 1990. Young MC, Bust a Move.
Come on.
It's a great song. I mean, Aaron, this song comes on and you're driving in your new car, you turning it off? Hell no. You're cranking it up.
Oh, no.
Again, do I know every lyric to this song? Of course. 5 yo blowing.
But the 5 year
Please, Russell, don't rap along. I cannot do the editing. I just don't have it in me. Plus, I would say it's a top 3 song about trying to get with a bridesmaid, I think. Now, you might feel bad because De La Soul did not win a Grammy at that point, but it turns out that they did in a year that definitely I did write down somewhere and I don't have right now, with Gorillaz, Feel Good Inc. This is True Goy on this verse, and this won Best Pop Collaboration.
I didn't know that.
The best part of this jam is De La Soul.
Damn it.
I didn't know this.
It's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fun song.
Aaron.
Fantastic.
Wouldn't you say of all the lists I've done, that's easily a top 5 Rob list?
That is one of the top 5 lists that you have
Something
done
about when I do lists,
Rob.
it's always like an hour 40 of recording when we're just dead.
That was fun. That's fun to go down memory lane.
Too. We got in and got out. Roll that list real nice.
I don't know. It seemed to go on for a long time. I had to explain it quite a few times.
Hey, Rob, if you leave your setup in tonight and anyone has to go in the bathroom, is there going to be an announcement that this is recording? This is recording. This is recording.
This is a recording.
Can't even lounge with the homeboys, how we are coping. Scoping new material for Paula Plug hype hits what Paul plugs in and still scope.
It's a jam, guys.
This one throws me back a little bit to, I feel like, to look more like 86, 87. You can hear like it came from out of the Marley Marl kind of.
It sounds kind of like Rakim, right? I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. I can do any. God, am I smart, Aaron? Am I kind of a hip hop head? Raw gonna give it to you. Raw gonna give it to you too.
Yeah. 2
playing euchre. And again, if you don't get that reference, get the fuck out of here. Go DJ. I can do anything.
If I want to, I can jump off this building. All right,
thank you. And Daisy,
this is where it's hard to get through the last 10 minutes of the 70-minute YouTube file.
Well, and after you hear Me, Myself, and I, you're sort of like, well, I mean, it can't get better, right? It's fun. It's the kind of thing that, like if you could just put it on and hang out, you would do that. And like some of the stuff that's like not the greatest, you'd be like, that's fine. I can vibe into this. But it's like, oh, I can only listen to this by truly paying attention. Different experience.
We all know the point of music is to say what is good and what is bad. That's why we're going to the rating system. It's Aaron's favorite part.
Oh, yes. It's science.
It's time for the rating system.
That's it?
Russell's like getting ready to go with this rolling joint.
rating system.
Rolling, going.
Rob's
Things
still
are
making
going
his
good.
orgy face. Rob's still like when Rob says it's time for the rating system. He makes that same face when he was fucking somebody real good. I don't know if I like that.
Ooh, this is a rolling boat. Listen, let's get into the rating system. Yeah, Russell's like, it's going good in the real world. So we have a rating system here, okay? Is this album, De La Soul, 3 Feet and Rising, by the way, named after a Johnny Cash song, got to give it some extra points for that, I think. Does this deserve to be at 103? Oh, God, Rolling Stone, you did a great job. You can't find this album anywhere. You got to go like into Vivo or like whatever weird video sites. Like you got to Bing this thing. Does it belong at 103? It's perfect there. That is a rolling well toned. Okay. Are there too many songs about dandruff? Okay. Too much whispering, too much ASMR. We don't need it. Should be lower on the list, which of course we know is a higher number. Okay. It's a lot like the ratings on a bed on your Comfort Plus mattress. When you are turning that stuff down, the numbers go down, the mattress goes up because it's actually getting harder. That would be a rolling groan. We do not like this album. It should be higher than 103, lower on the list. Or is this a rolling bone? It should have been higher up. We should have seen this earlier. Listen, we've had Tribe. We've had
Outkast.
We've had hip hop.
NWA.
Outkast.
We've had Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah, we've had Wu-Tang. Shouldn't this have been higher up? If you think it should be higher up, which of course is a lower number, kind of like the number of people on a trapeze. When you see a trapeze act, there's less people up in the air than there are down toward the bottom. That's where the crowd is. A lot like this, that would be a rolling bone. It should have been higher up. I'm confusing myself. This is such a waste of time. What am I doing with my life? I could be spending this time with my family. What do you think? Rolling well toned, rolling bone, or rolling groan? Matt, what do you think? De La Soul, 3 Feet and Rising.
Your family appreciates you taking a little time away to, get your creative outlets off, things like that. So I think it's okay. I think we're all doing the Lord's work here.
That's true.
At 103, I enjoyed this album, right? And I think I like it. Again, I didn't really think about it till somebody asked, do you like gangster rap or do you like the upbeat rap or what do you like? I don't know. I mean, Outkast, I think is my put them on the top of everything, and they're a little bit of mix of everything. So at 103, I think it's rolling well toned. I think you can hear where the influence comes in for the 90s and kind of things afterwards. And so I think from a perspective of how does this sit for influencing for what came after it and all that other good stuff. I mean, I think it's at 103, it's a good spot. So I'll say rolling well toned.
Russell, what do you think? Rolling well toned, rolling bone, or rolling groan?
I thought there were some really fun beats and grooves on this one. Say No Go, I Know, Me, Myself, and I could listen to those over and over again. Admittedly, the Dandruff song and De La Orgy or whatever that other one was just didn't do it for me. So those kind of brought it down a little bit. I think going back for me, and maybe I just need to talk to whoever this guy in Kansas City is and get the vinyl of it or whatever. But it was just hard to listen to this song. And for me to go back and say, I'm going to re-listen to this over and over again on YouTube, it's probably not going to happen. But some of the jams were pretty awesome. So I'm going to say it's rolling well toned.
Aaron, what do you think? Rolling well toned, rolling bone, or rolling groan?
Yeah, a lot of great stuff's been said. I'm with Russell. I will go back and listen to this when I can get a physical copy. But otherwise, I don't know that it's something I'd work through. Maybe this is sacrilege. Lyrically, it still misses me a little bit. I didn't understand today until I read the Pitchfork review about all the slang they were making up. And so I just haven't, that part of it hasn't caught up, or I haven't caught up with that part of it. The overall sound and vibe, the grooves, I absolutely love. And it's a really important album and a really important group. So I think it's
tough, isn't it? Because if you get a time machine and go to 1989 and don't tempt me. We're running so long. Don't tempt me. You go back to 1989 and you listen to this, you might be like, well, this is life changing. Whereas now it's kind of still 1989 for you. But unfortunately, you're all incorrect. Okay.
Damn it.
This is a rolling frustration.
Frustration?
Why can't we listen to this on Spotify or Amazon Music? Listen, there are like 3 fucking companies that own every piece of music now. They've all got into conglomerations. You're telling me they can't work this shit out? Warner Brothers can't just be like, yeah, everybody, guess what? We own all of you. We're going to do this. We're going to release it. Guys, if you had Van Gogh and you couldn't release some paintings because he painted, the the turtles, like I don't know. Listen, I'm getting lost. I'm getting lost in the sauce here.
What turtles?
It's insane.
Like those little candies or the ninjas?
Next up, we have an album. And I think so far, this is the only album where the title would also make a delicious dessert.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Think about this, Russell. You're going into a bakery. Okay. You've got your pizza. You're going into the bakery.
Let's hear it.
You get an order of sticky fingers.
Oh.
Doesn't that just sound delicious? Yum, yum, yum.
Nice.
Yeah. And you would think I'd make a sick joke with sticky fingers. Guess what? I zigged when you zagged.
I'm not going to bring up the fight we had about the track list on Sticky Fingers.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Next week.
Beck did it better.
Rob, you said sample so many times that I ordered a Perkins appetizer sampler, and unfortunately I ate it all. So right now I feel like I'm roughly the size of a barge.